Okay, both of you are best-selling authors. Why do you need each other? What did this man provide that you couldn't just imagine, James Patterson?
I think what separates this book from books that I've read, and I think that most of you have read, is just the authenticity. There are a lot of thrillers out there. My goal, when the opportunity came up to do something with the president, was to try to do the best thriller about a president that had been written. And there is an attack against the United States in this country. If it happened, it's a devastating attack, it would happen something like this. There is an attack against a motorcade, the presidential motorcade. If it happened, it would happen. The president disappears in this book. If it happened, it would happen something. It could happen something like this.
What did you give him about the presidency? What details did you provide this man that he couldn't have imagined himself? What were the tidbits? Launch codes?
Well, first of all, I realize we started talking about this.
The launch codes, yeah.
No, I didn't give him the launch code. And relax.
It's just your birthday twice. It's just your birthday twice.
I don't have them anymore. But we started talking about this in 2016. So the definition of whether this book is authentic or not has sort of changed in the last year and a half in terms of what really happened. But it was everything from the physical realities of how would you get the president out of the White House if that were going to happen? How would the president disappear?
How would you do that?
For a whole long... Read the book.
Read the book.
Did you, just can I ask you, did you give that subject a lot of thought around 1998?
I thought about it all the time. You know, I used to joke that I could never tell whether the White House was the most beautiful public building in Washington or the crown jewel of the federal prison system. Because you know, that you're always kind of hemmed up.
Oh, right.
But it was a joke, because one of the things this book is, with Jim's full concurrence, is also a pretty strong endorsement of the Secret Service that has gotten some bad publicity over the years, and I think it's been overdone compared to the way they risk their lives to keep the president and the president's family safe. And you'll see that here. But
if you're interested in knowing what it's like to be president, this is a really good, you really get a feeling for what it's like. And even more so than in a lot of the memoirs, because in the memoirs, they really can't talk about a lot of things.
No, so here you read this, it gives you a good idea what it's like to be president.
I think
Could
so,
we
yeah.
send this to Donald Trump so he has a standard by which to judge his behavior?
well, look,
Yes.
We
know that President Trump isn't missing because we get tweets every morning. So.
You'll
we get tweets from Melania, and we don't know where she is.
Well, I was glad to see your opening. I was glad to see that picture of her because, you know, I like her. It made me feel good if she was all right.
Yeah, everybody likes her. Everybody likes her.
Yeah,
hey, you're a president. As a president, do you think you could pardon yourself?
No.
Did anybody, because the president's impeachment lawyer, Emmett Flood, was your impeachment lawyer. Did he bring it up?
No, well, he wasn't. He worked on the team. He
worked on the team.
Yeah.
Sure. I've never met this Mr. Flood.
None of us ever considered that. But one of the things that, if you look at the way the book opens and you look at the questions you just asked me,
yes.
One of the things that every president has to do, if you're going into a hearing, you're going into a news conference, you do what I didn't do before I did that interview. That will never go down as my finest hour. Mm-hmm. That is, you go through what you call a murder board. I mean, your own staff sits there and asks you meaner questions than Colbert would. And then you and so you will see that in the paper, in the thing, and the president will go along, he'll be just fine. And finally, they just hit his hot button, and he gives the answer that his heart wants to give. And he's all hot up, and they say, okay, that's answer A. Let's go to plan B here. Wow. Give the answer you know you should. And you should want that to happen because a lot of these matters involve national security. They're not always just an attack on the president.
As a writer, Mr. Patterson, do you think Donald Trump is a believable character?
Are we living...
Well,
it makes it...
Are we living...
Some of the things,
are we living in a cheap novel right now?
Some of the things that are going on, I mean, there just was a thing today, just recently, about him possibly bringing Rodman to Singapore. So it's hard, as fiction writer, it's hard to keep up with. I mean, that's tough competition.
You met, sir, you went over to help free some hostages on behalf of the Obama administration. You went over there to free some hostages. You met Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong Un's father. What can Mr. Trump expect when he sits down with the leader of North Korea? Briefly.
Briefly, he can expect a guy who's reluctant to give up his nuclear weapons because he thinks that when dictators give them up, they're more likely to be overthrown. And he wants to stay in power, but he can also expect a person who has already told his own people he's going to make a better life for them. So the key to this whole thing is the president of South Korea, who's been brilliant in bringing North Korea into the Olympics, brilliant in understanding how the psychology of President Trump and President Kim Jong Un. And so if we should all want President Trump to succeed here. Every one of us should. And we should measure success not by the guy saying, oh, I was a bad boy for having nuclear weapons and throwing them away, but if he comes out of this thing reducing the likelihood of a nuclear exchange or the nuclear materials being given away, stolen, or sold to terrorist groups in return for something that the South Korean president and the Chinese will support to make them slightly more prosperous, that's progress. You should want something that makes us safer, our neighbors, South Korea, safer, and them a little better off.
Well, thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Patterson.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure to see you again. The president is missing. It's in stores now. Bill Clinton, James Patterson, everybody. We'll be right back with Tate Notaro.